So I'd just like to finish off, finish where I left off the last time because it ended abruptly, and it was half an hour. So let's see where we go with this one. I wanted the last video that I did. I was trying to get onto this thing where Chiron is now in Aries at 3 degrees. And I took you back to 2012 when Uranus was in Aries, square Pluto in Saturn, which is quite a hectic transit for 2012. And everything seemed to center around this Uranus square Pluto transit. Uranus was in Aries, and it was suggested not just by me, by many people, other astrologers around, that this was about a process of individuation, because Aries is about the self. We don't like the word selfish because obviously everybody is selfish to one degree or another. You have to be. You won't survive if you're not. But Aries is to do with the self. And currently what we're going through at the moment in particular is this thing about this identity and this identity crisis that we all seem to be going through. And this is what was happening, because what it was, this actualization, this self-realization we thought was all going to happen in 2012, boom, just like that, and we were all going to be Christed ascended masters, knowing selves and stuff, and fully able to go onward and upward, etc. Yeah, so we're all on this identity crisis. We've got 7,000 personality disorders. We've got 7,000 gender, whatever it is. And, if you mention the fact that there's only two sexes, somebody got in trouble for that recently. You're getting in trouble, you can't say anything. I've complained about this. You can't become emotional about everything. We are emotional feeling creatures. You can't get emotional. They'll lock you up or send around the boys in white and stuff in the white coats. Clearly this is not good, but this is what we're going through. And people seem to be able to want to tolerate it, Shall I quickly mention, this isn't astrology really, but I'm going to mention the coronavirus. Jesus. First thing to say, what you should do is go and check out John Bergman on is it John Bergman? Bergman on YouTube. He's I hesitate to call him a doctor, but he's into medicine and health. And he'll give you the rundown on all these viruses, H1N1 and all that, SARS, etc. They never actually come to anything. This one appears to be killing people. But I noticed on the radio recently when they were saying the presenter gave some long diatribe about we've had the first death somewhere, I can't remember where it was, and rare. And then right at the end of the piece, she said he was 80 years old. And today, because I was slating the people up north and the Manchester people, because apparently the people up north are in masks walking around. And I was out this morning earlier, about 9 o'clock in the morning, and I saw this black guy, and I think he was one of them, he had an eye-vis jacket on, so I don't know what he was doing. And he had a mask on, and I said to him, I had to shout out to him, are you wearing that because of the coronavirus? And he said, yeah. And I don't know if I should tell you what I said to him. And he didn't like it at all. He didn't like it at all because the coronavirus isn't going to kill him. He's a big strapping black man, young, about 35 or something. Um, but the point is, they are killing us, and and it won't be from the coronavirus. I don't think that you're gonna die, but when you die, you'll die early, and it's because of external influences that you have no control over. Do you know what I mean? It's a fact. You're going to an early grave. You know what I mean? We all are. And this is the problem. People don't get it. It's a fact. Um, Recently, and also on the news recently, Boris Johnson and this Dominic Cummings, because you vote for Boris Johnson, and these special advisors, where did they come from? Who's controlling them? Who's giving them their mandate, and how they go about things? This Dominic Cummings has just recently brought somebody onto the team of special advisors who's going around saying that, I can't remember what they were saying. I've got a photographic memory, and I'm really good at remembering these things. But recently, over the past year or two, I wipe them from my hard drive. It's not necessary to hold the details of all these things, because, you can cite example after example after example. And unfortunately, the people will still pander to the bollocks. It's so sad. Yeah, it is so sad. Right, so there's a new moon coming up in Pisces in about 4 or 5 days' time. I'm looking at today's chart, 17th of February 2020. Is that new moon on the 20th of the 2nd, 2020? I don't know. How many days to the new moon? The whole of Capricorn, 10 degrees of Sagittarius, that's 40 degrees. The whole of Aquarius, that's 70 degrees and 4 degrees. 74 degrees is got to travel. 260 is 5 days, 12 days. So it's about 6. No, the new moon is on the 23rd. So, but it's 20. Somebody will come, all these New Age people, all these Palladians, and all these Matt Khan and all that, they'll say something about 22, 2020, I mean, all the 20s and all the 2s. What if they were applying this knowledge properly? Do you know what I mean? Right, and also Mercury has just gone, not retrograde, it's stationary. And that's the point. Mercury goes stationary for 2 days. All planets go stationary for 2 days, and then on the 3rd day they either start going backwards, or if they've been going backwards, it'll stop for 2 days and then it'll start going forwards. Now I want to make the point, so on the 3rd day it goes forwards after it stops, because that's what a retrograde is. The planet is moving forward, like say this one is in Pisces and it came in Pisces, 0 degrees Pisces, and it's moved all the way to 12 degrees Pisces, and it will be slowing down. Then it will stop still, and it stops still here now at 12 degrees 50 minutes. Pisces, I think it stopped a day or two ago. No, not a day or two ago, yesterday or something. And it will stay still at 12:50 for 2 days, and then on the 3rd day it starts moving back. So this is what the pagans have realized as they watch the stars, and they've got the teachings from external. Because as I do these astrology starts, I have to start including the fact that there are aliens is not a good word, because I think it's toxic. Yeah, I think metaterrestrials will be too much for you. There are other beings around the universe. This is why I don't do the astrology. People can't. People won't be able to handle the truth. People are walking around having absolutely no idea where we come from, where we're going, this concept of God. The Bible, people have no idea what's in the Bible, or where the Bible's coming from. Yeah. have no idea about ancient history. We have no idea about recent history. We've been lied. I always say, I mentioned to my brother most of all, Malcolm X once said, you've been had, you've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked. And I'll say it to you now, you've been had, you've been bamboozled, you've been hoodwinked. Okay? Because what you think is true and facts and the reality, there nothing could be further from the truth. You've been told complete lies, and then the stuff that you're meant to be taught, you're not being taught. You know, stuff like, the Fibonacci spiral. No one knows about this Fibonacci spiral. Why does the Vatican have things like the pine cone? Oh, yeah, so that's the, where are we? Mars has just moved into Capricorn. The South Node, K2, is in Capricorn. The asteroid Pallas is in Capricorn. Jupiter is in Capricorn. Pluto is in Capricorn. Saturn is in Capricorn. So, these planets will be displaying, will be expressing themselves in very Capricornian ways. It's often said that Capricorn is associated with the institutions and the wider society. So just because all these planets are all in all these signs, it doesn't mean that all the institutions are going to win. It just means that our focus will be on things to do with the collective and society and how society is run. Now, in the perfect world, we could go through these periods and learn and grow. You know, for the 5 minutes that there's this this convergence of planets in Capricorn, then we experience that Capricorn way and energy, and we move on. But there are external forces at work. There really are. I didn't think about this video, so it's not turning out too good. Yeah, planet Earth is in trouble. And there just seems to be nothing that be done. And it's getting worse and worse. We've got this virus and people in total panic over this virus. And this virus is nothing. You know, absolutely nothing. If we were taught how our body works and how to cook and how to look after our body, we wouldn't have any problems. In China, it's unbelievable what they're doing to the people to put them in quarantine. When the people, I didn't realize China is terrible. The Chinese government and the people who rule China. But people like to think, but it's all one and the same, you know. The Chinese, the way the Chinese elite, the Chinese people who call all the shots and run their society, they are the same people. They're in cahoots. You know, they're the same people as the Saudi Arabians, the same people who the British royal family pander to, the same people who Netanyahu panders to. Because Netanyahu and the Israeli thing, you know, what their handlers do is allow them to play out this thing, this 12 tribes thing. You know, we're all part of the 12 tribes. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all the same. Somebody did something on the radio recently about why Jews seem to have superior intellect and stuff, and they always seem to rise in whatever field that they do. Very intellectually sharp, and it's true. I've heard many people say that the Jews are really intelligent and really creative and can do stuff. But my argument is, if that is the case, it can be explained, and no one's explaining it. And this thing about it's in the Bible, nobody's telling us who wrote the Bible. Nobody explains the Bible at all. Because your pastor doesn't explain the Bible. The Elohim are our creators. The Elohim are not God, but they did create us. Yeah, this is complicated shit, man, and they've got us by the short and curlies. No doubt about it.